Yo, and what is up, gang? Thank you so much for joining me here once again on the channel today for our very, very special NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3 review, and we are going to talk about it right here and right now on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Let's do this.
Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
Alright, wrestling fans, thank you once again for joining us here today. This is the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. My name is Nick Nightmare. This, as always, is Blue, the heavyweight champion of microphones, and we were live last night at the Barclays Center for what is hands down every single year the best show the WWE puts on, and that is NXT TakeOver Brooklyn number 3. Oh my god, you guys, what a fucking show this was. This was a damn near perfect show. Damn near perfect. And not just because I was live in attendance. I know I'm very critical of people's opinions of shows when they go to the show, because when you're live, everything feels kind of good. You know, but in this scenario, everything was just absolutely great. From the arena, the way it looked, the way it felt, the fans that were there in attendance were fucking electric. However, before we get into the review, let me just say that I have no fucking luck with seats. I told you guys I had a pretty prime seat, right? And I was pretty sure I was going to get myself on TV, but that did not happen. Alright, I mean, I could see myself when I went back and watched the show. I can see where I'm at, but you can't see me enough to know that it's fucking me. I know it's me, because I know I was there. I knew where I was sitting, and I could see the white t-shirt with the black in the middle and my head, but you can't make me out amongst the sea of blips in the back, which is fine. You know, I was duped by the map. You know, the seating chart arena made me believe that I was going to be on TV. So I went out and I bought some signs and I did some shit, but we didn't really get featured the way we hoped to get featured. That's fine, but what infinitely made it worse for me, and my luck with tickets, or lack of, is I'm always seated around the worst fucking fans in the stadium. I swear to God. I had these two fucking people behind me getting pissed off at me every time I held up my sign. I wasn't being obnoxious with it. I was just holding it up. You know, give it a couple of seconds. Hey, glorious, you know, fucking right at the beginning of the show. Hold my sign up, and then I took it down. You know, I didn't hold it up there and just fucking stand there in front of you. I held it up for about a minute, and then I took it down. And then I hear fucking jerk-off say, oh, great, all show, all we're gonna see is this fucking glorious sign. Are you fucking serious? Go fuck yourself. Okay, pal? And then, besides this guy giving me a fucking complex about holding up a sign because I don't want to have to turn around and knock this fucking jerk-off out in front of his fucking girlfriend, I have to fucking deal with a 10-year-old. Who brings a fucking 9-10-year-old to an NXT event? That's a little sketchy parenting. You know the kind of crowd it is. You don't bring a 10-year-old to an NXT show. I wouldn't bring my kid to an NXT show. Yeah, right, she's only 5, but if she was 10 and she was a big wrestling fan, I wouldn't even be letting her watch NXT. It's just got a more adult, grittier feel to it. She would end up getting into it and want to go see it. And then when you bring the kid to go see it, and you got the whole entire crowd chanting, "You fucked up," to Baron Corbin, and calling out every stupid fan in the audience with a ridiculous sign, "You're an asshole, no one likes you," all this fucking great chants that are known to happen at an NXT event, I just think it's a little bit inappropriate. Not to mention the fact that the kid was falling asleep all over the chair through the whole fucking show. It was making it very awkward for me. I couldn't get comfortable because this kid's like curled up in a ball next to me. His father's sitting next to him screaming, "Go," you know, whatever was chanting. His dad's chanting nice and loud next to him, not caring that his little kid's being exposed to all this adult-oriented entertainment. Be that as it may, the crowd around me every time I go is never the good section. You could see, like, I'm sitting in my chair, and you hear where the ruckus comes from, you know? You're not fucking stupid. The rowdy fans were all over there, all right? And then we had a nice couple of pockets over there. But for the most part, my section was pretty fucking lame. Just like it was at the Metallica show. Nobody fucking up and screaming and singing. Everybody, a sea of fucking heads in their fucking cell phones. People tweeting other people that, oh, I'm at NXT Brooklyn. Yeah, you're at NXT Brooklyn, but you're not fucking watching it. You're talking to your fucking friend, you idiot. You only know these things because you're sitting above them, right? So you see all their fucking screens. At the HOG show on Friday night, I had 3 fat idiots sitting in front of me checking out fucking Instagram recipes. Well, we got Anthony Gangone and Amazing Red in the ring for the championship in the main event. They got McDonald's up on the fucking phone, looking up where's the nearest McDonald's so we can shove grease in our fucking faces. Are you kidding me? Why aren't you watching this show? What are you doing? You paid money to sit here and look at fucking food you're gonna eat after the show. You're not even enjoying the show. Oh my God. So there's my little rant on the fans. I'm not even going to go off on the 6-foot-tall ginger jerk-off that was sitting next to me spilling his drink on me. I'm not going to go over that. Because that was the only negative part about all of NXT. It was a fucking great show, so I had to put my blinders on. I held my fucking sign up when I needed to, and it didn't do me any good because I didn't get on TV, like I said. But in any case, what a fucking show this was. Right from the beginning, we got treated to an episode taping of NXT, which I am not going to tell you anything that happened there because I don't want to spoil anything for you. It was a fucking great episode. Great episode. 3 great matches. Make sure you keep your eyes tuned to NXT to check out that episode. We had NXT TakeOver Brooklyn kick off with Johnny Gargano and Andrade Cien Almas, which I told you guys had the potential to steal the entire show because Gargano is a fucking beast. And it absolutely did. It came right out from the onset, made you feel like this was the main event already. These guys went out there and performed their asses off. I've never was that high on Cien Almas, and this night would prove me absolutely fucking wrong. This guy is a 100% bona fide stud in that ring. He can fucking go. Him and Gargano tore it down. Up until the point of the match where Gargano would finally get the upper hand and the beautiful Zelina Vega would distract him by throwing a DIY t-shirt to him, allowing him just a moment to look away and give Cien Almas the advantage, allowing him to capture the 3 count. 1, 2, 3. Andrade Cien Almas beats Johnny Gargano. Does this mean Gargano will be coming up to SmackDown, being that we had Daniel Bryan and Kurt Angle scouting up in the bleachers or up in the rafters in the crow's nest, whatever you want to call that section they had them sitting in? I would not be against it. Johnny Gargano is so fucking good that him being on NXT at this point by himself is almost a waste. But if they bring him up, would they know what to do with him? Will they ruin him like they've ruined the likes of Tyler Breeze and everybody else that has come up from NXT? It's a scary, scary situation, and I don't really want to see that happen to him. But he is almost too good to fail. So I kind of expect to see, especially being that he lost here, Gargano being called up in this next little shake-up they're supposedly planning. And hopefully it all turns out well for him. Andrade Cien Almas, this new pairing with Zelina Vega, definitely has given his character a second life, and we have got some momentum going on his side, and I'm very interested to see where the Andrade Cien Almas is going to go now. Whereas right at the beginning with the whole way he first debuted, I really could care less. But this has got my interest, and they were so damn good that you can't do nothing but look forward to what they got next in store for this. After that, we were treated to the Tag Team Championship match, which was fucking fantastic. The Authors of Pain with Paul Ellering going one-on-one, well, I shouldn't say one-on-one, but the 2 teams were going up against each other against Sanity. Eric Young and the gang. Fucking great match. Hard-hitting, lots of tension, lots of great spots, including the Psycho Nikki Cross getting involved, taking herself into the match off the top rope, into the arms of one of the Authors of Pain. I don't know the difference between the two of them if I'm not looking at them, so I'm sorry. I can't tell you which Ninja Turtle it was. And he would catch the little crumpet in his arms. She would not have the momentum to take him down, but then Killian Dane would come running like a fucking bull around the corner and sacrifice himself and Nikki Cross by putting the big man through the table that was set up on the outside earlier by Eric Young. All kinds of mayhem would happen, and Sanity would work together as a team, sacrificing themselves for the good of the unit so that Eric Young and Alexander Wolf can now be the new NXT Tag Team Champions. The story here, though, not so much the changing of the guard with the championship, but the re-emergence of Bobby Fish alongside Kyle O'Reilly. Red Dragon made their tag team debut tonight on NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. They both were featured recently in singles matches on NXT. Neither one of them did well by themselves. I think they both suffered a loss, and now they are going to team together because that is where their success is, and it was fucking fantastic. They took out the champs. They took shots at the Authors of Pain. Nobody was safe from the wrath of Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, and that was fucking great. The crowd erupted. You could just feel the entire arena shaking to the core. Right at your feet, you felt the rumbles. It was unbelievable. After that tag team match, what came after the tag team match? Holy shit. We had Aleister Black versus Hideo Itami. I just forgot the order for a second. All right? This match is another match that absolutely stellar. You've all seen it. It was an absolute kick fest. Jim Ross made sure to make sure we knew that all we were going to see is a bunch of kicks. He kept reiterating that fact all night long. Having Jim Ross and Mauro Ranallo on the same announce team was almost orgasmic, even though the announce team, by and large, throughout the night seemed to have a little bit of difficulty calling this show. I noticed that myself as I was watching the replay. They were not as sharp as they usually are, but nevertheless, they did not take away from the quality of the show for me. Aleister Black. What can I say about Aleister Black? They gave this guy the live band entrance. They don't give that to just anybody. I wouldn't be surprised if they're already starting to think to move him up, even though it would be too soon. Right now, the main event picture for the title is very cluttered and very, very interesting. And we will get to that later on. I'm sure you all already know what happened in the main event, but we're going to keep going in order here. Aleister Black would absolutely captivate me. Just not only in the entrance and how he comes down and with the fucking heavy metal music blasting in concert form, absolutely spine-tingling, goosebumps all over yourselves. But he would actually, by the end of this match, make me believe in Hideo Itami. I have been notorious for being against Hideo Itami, saying that his time has come and gone. He has been overshadowed by all of his fellow New Japan people. He will never be a Shinsuke Nakamura. He will never be even close to a Tozawa. And I'm here to tell you today that that is absolutely wrong. That's just me being my dejected self, getting frustrated with a talent that was pushed and hyped that came to fruition of nothing. Last night at TakeOver, Itami made a believer out of me. This match was fantastic. He is tough as nails. You cannot stand toe-to-toe with a monster-like man such as Aleister Black and put him on the ropes, bust him open, make him bleed. Come so close on so many occasions to actually beating the new Phenom. Hideo Itami was great. This match was great. And if he can stay healthy, I hope to God that they push this kid quickly and get him up to where he really does belong. He's a fantastic talent. I have not seen it at that level to this point. Yeah, he had a decent match with Bobby Roode, but this match was his chance for me, in any case, to prove that he is what he says he is, And he did just that. This was a great match. Hats off to both guys. Aleister Black comes out with the win, as everybody much expected. But Hideo Itami looks to be, pretty much on the rise again. So we'll have to see what Triple H and the gang down there at the Yellow Brand has in store for this guy. I still almost feel like it might be too late. I just don't think he has the charisma to compete with the likes of a Nakamura and a Tozawa. And he's just somewhat kind of bland. But when you can go in the ring, you can go in the ring, and I'm always for that. The Women's Championship match was fucking great. We were back and forth. The crowd was very split between Ember Moon and Asuka. We had Becky Lynch. We had Bayley, arm in a sling, just to make sure you knew. And Sasha Banks, all sitting at ringside. Fantastic to witness this alongside us. This match, I can't even describe this match because it was very emotional when you were in that crowd. It was just, you were almost expecting Asuka to lose, even though I said on the preview that I did not want that to happen. But every time she came close, you almost felt that 3 count, and then Asuka would just kick out. She is such an amazing talent. She was able to withstand an Ember Moon eclipse. She kicked out at 3. Ember Moon could not believe it. She would be unable to hit it again, and Asuka would grab a handful of tights in order to ensure her victory after rolling up Ember Moon for the 1-2-3, retaining her NXT Women's Championship. What a match these two girls threw down. I am absolutely proud of both of them. I'm always a little bit skeptical of a women's match, and I apologize for that, and I probably shouldn't be, and I probably should get over that, because you're just so used to what happens on the main roster, And when you get a talent like Asuka, a once-in-a-lifetime talent, and Ember Moon, who has all the potential in the world, her package is complete. She can definitely be next in line. But she's also got the likes of Nikki Cross and Peyton Royce and Billie Kay to play around with, and all of them will end up being viable contenders. But this match between these two girls was fantastic. It was absolutely fantastic. I love Asuka. I love Ember Moon. I'm very, very happy that they did not take the title off of her and let her reign supreme until you find that perfect moment. This was not the moment. We'll have to wait and see what's in store next for the Empress of Tomorrow. I can't say enough about her. She's just my favorite new women's wrestler. She's tough as nails. She hits hard, and she is legit. She is the most legit women's champion the WWE has ever had on any brand ever. And that's including my all-time favorite Trish Stratus. She was great. But she was a pro wrestler. She was a sports entertainment pro wrestler. Asuka is a wrestling person's wrestler. She hits like a dude. She fights like a dude. She has no care for her own physical health. She just puts it all out there. Her character is fantastic. Her entrance is fantastic. She is what makes wrestling great. And I can only hope, like I said earlier about some of these other guys, that when they bring her up, they don't ruin this. Because they had a great mystique going with Finn Balor. They had a great mystique going with Shinsuke Nakamura. They had a great build going with Samoa Joe. And then all these guys come up to the main roster and it all just kind of fades away. All that mystique, all that magic of the character, everything that makes the characters feel special just suddenly disappears and evaporates into thin fucking air. Just like happened with Bayley also. So I'm always worried about when these guys are moving up, especially when I love them so much. Just like I loved myself some Bobby Roode. Me and Bobby Roode go back a long ways, everybody. I've been watching Bobby Roode since his days in Team Canada in TNA when he was just a tiny little rookie in the world of pro wrestling way back in the mid-2000s. He was one of my favorite guys there. Oddly enough, Eric Young was also in that stable, if you remember. Team Canada was fantastic. They were one of the only reasons I was watching TNA. Bobby Roode would develop and change his character many times over in TNA, every time being successful with whatever he was deciding to do, eventually leading his way up into the arms of NXT, thank God, and we had the birth of the glorious champion, Bobby Roode. And this match would be another reason to prove why he is so goddamn glorious. This felt like a championship match. These guys went at each other fantastically. McIntyre, he's a big fucking guy. For me to be so far away and for him to still look that big, like he looked like Big Cass big. I don't think he's as big as Cass, but he's fucking huge. And this fucking match was huge. And these guys delivered big time. Big time. No complaints at all. But once again, this match would be overshadowed by the debut of Adam Cole, baby! Everybody kind of knew it was coming. We didn't know when it was coming. I assumed, if anything, it would be during the world title match, if at all. I thought maybe they might have saved it for an episode of NXT, but this is what NXT Brooklyn's all about. It's about the big moments. We had the Tag Team Championship title change. We had a great match with Cien Almas. We had Asuka retain her title. We had Aleister Black and Hideo Itami throw it down. And we capped it off with a cherry on top. Bobby Roode versus this guy right here. Your new NXT champion, Drew McIntyre. I was upset only because I'm so big on Bobby Roode, and this was my first time to get to see him, and he lost. And it's kind of been a trend, and maybe I shouldn't bring it up because I might be a jinx. I might be a champion's jinx. Every time I've gone to any live event show this year that had a championship title on the line, the champion has lost. And the reason why the champion has lost is because they're on their way to WWE in some way, shape, or form. Or GFW, as the case may have it. I took a picture with the House of Glory World Tag Team Champions, EYFBO. The very next week, they would be called up to Global Force Wrestling and join LAX with Conan and Homicide. So now they're down there doing their thing. The very next show, I took a picture with Leo Rush, the House of Glory Crown Jewel Champion. He would lose his title because he's going to NXT. And now Bobby Roode. You can add to that list. I go to NXT Brooklyn, Bobby Roode loses his title. Which, does that mean he's being called up? Is his time in NXT done? The trend would say yes. If it has anything to do with my presence, Bobby Roode could be showing up on one of the big brands during this post-SummerSlam shakeup that's supposed to be happening. Adam Cole, baby, comes out and absolutely decimates the new champion after this matchup. He was flanked by Red Dragon, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish. And when the three of them were standing in the ring over a beaten and bruised up champion, Drew McIntyre, I couldn't help but feel hints of the NWO. You know, an ROH invasion is in full effect right now. You got Steve Corino floating around in the back. He could definitely get involved, maybe be their manager or their advisor or their J.J. Dillon, or maybe you don't do that at all. Maybe you just leave it to three of them. Maybe you bring in one more guy from the indies. Who it could be, I don't know. Do you need anybody bigger than Adam Cole? There is nobody available on the market probably bigger than Adam Cole right now. Kenny Omega's not ready. He's not coming. So who's bigger than Adam Cole right now? He is going to be our new face of NXT. And I am absolutely fine with that. And if you have a new faction coming in on top of it, I'm all for that. And you're going to have it be a legit faction of Ring of Honor former superstars, Ring of Honor former champions. Red Dragon has been tag team champions all over the world. It's only a matter of time before they get their hands on the NXT tag team champions. The same will be said for Adam Cole. And Adam Cole versus Drew McIntyre seems to be the feud of the future. And that's what we're going to be going with. I have no doubt in my mind we are going to see Red Dragon versus the Authors of Pain versus Sanity for the championship sometime soon, and expect Red Dragon to get the crown sooner than later. And then imagine NXT champion Adam Cole, tag team champions Red Dragon by his side, taking over NXT. All they would need would be a girl. Maybe you bring up a girl, a Ring of Honor, or an independent superstar, or you take one of these girls from the Mae Young Classic and you put them in with these guys, and you have a complete package. You make maybe her be the first person to take the title from Asuka, or I don't even want that. I want Asuka to say, here you go, I'm done with this. I'm going to play with the big dogs because nobody here is ready for Asuka. That's what should happen. And then they have a tournament, and then you have maybe this girl who is with their faction, whatever they decide to call it, win the championship, and then Adam Cole's group has all the gold. And you have Ring of Honor versus NXT, NWO, WCW style. Do I need to say more? Fantastic. What a fucking night. And as you can see, my voice, like, it comes in and goes out. It's like it came back just a little bit here towards the end. So I'm going to try to rein it down, and we're going to call it at that. NXT was fucking fantastic. If you didn't see it, you don't know what you were missing. Go back to the network. Watch it right now. It's 2 hours. Well worth your time. Also, don't forget to watch the upcoming episodes of NXT, and maybe you can find me in that crowd, because it wasn't so dark in the arena during the episode filming as it was during the TakeOver filming. And when the lights went out in the arena, that's all like when you're watching the show, once the match starts, that whole area that's black, that's where I'm at. That's where I am. I mean, I'm not all the way up. I'm pretty close, but I'm in the black, so you can't see me. And that's going to do it for this review of NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. Fantastic to be there. I am so looking forward to doing it again next year. They're going to be in Brooklyn next year. I am going to do my best. I'm going to start saving right fucking now to get myself a better seat down closer. I want to be even closer than I was. As good as it was, I'm going to be even closer next year. I guarantee it. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Don't forget to check out everything else. There's been so much that went up this week. Lots of SummerSlam coverage, lots of NXT coverage, lots of superstar meet and greets and stuff. I got an NXT video coming up. I got it editing. I'm going to finish it up hopefully in the next couple of days, and you'll have it up this week. My experience at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3 will be up and live for your viewing pleasure very, very soon. I am Nick Nightmare. This is Blue the Snowball Microphone. We are about to head back out to Brooklyn. Right now, we're going over to 205th to hang out with a bunch of YouTubers, and we're going to get our name out there and become part of the crew. Because that's all I want, is to be a respected part of the community at large. And today I will get to meet Solomonster, I will get to meet Justin LaBar, and of course, gonna hang out with my buddy JD. Give him the sign I had made for him that did not get featured on NXT, but I'm gonna give it to him because I, would be stupid hanging up in this studio. This is not off the script. This is the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show right here on Sledgehammer TV. Thank you guys as always, and I am out of here. And we will see you next time right here on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. SummerSlam review tonight.